You're asking yourself right now, should I move to Hamburg, New York? Is this the right suburb for me just outside the city of Buffalo? Well, this video and I intend to answer that for you. Now, we're about to take a super deep dive into Hamburg. We're talking about exploring all the mom and pop shops that kind of run the village and how it's anchored by the village. Also, we're going to drive around the town, see all the different neighborhoods and neighborhood streets that you can possibly be a part of. And probably the greatest perk about Hamburg is that you will have access, because you're a resident now and you're gonna move there, you have access to your own private beach. Wow, that's crazy, right? I know. Now, you're probably asking yourself, is all this too good to be true? Well, it's not, and let's find out why. Let's do it. What's going on, you guys? I hope all is well as always. If you guys didn't love that intro, man, my name is Devonte Davis, the local realtor in and around the Buffalo area. And today we're going to be taking our time and our walking, our shoes, our cars, our wheels on them cars all around Hamburg, New York. Now, before we get started, as always, if you guys are moving up to the Buffalo area or you're already in the Buffalo area looking to move around, you know we help tons of people, literally, no exaggeration, tons of people every single week move up here, and we would love to help you. So if you are interested in that, hit us up with a call, email, text. If not further ado, let's go grab our shoes, grab this camera, and we're gonna get inside the village right now. Before we get to shoes, just real quick, where is Hamburg on a map? Hamburg is located in our southern tier, or one of what we call our south town. So way down yonder below the city, or just going south, right? But it's not as far as you think. Hamburg is a pretty big place. It's home to about 60,000 people inside the town and the village, right? So that's a lot of people for one town or one small town. The good thing is this, depending on which way or how far down you live, you could be 10 minutes from the city of Buffalo, and I'm talking about downtown Buffalo, or you could be at max 22 minutes, which is super, super dope, right? And probably maybe 27 minutes away from the airport. So it's really not as far as you think. You can jet back and forth, whether you have a commute back and forth going to work, whether you work remote, you just want to go down on the weekends. Either way, it's not a far drive, which is one of the real good things about Hamburg. You can literally take the highway or the skyway all the way up. It's a nice clean drive. In all actuality, Hamburg actually is one of the south towns that actually got a few things going on. One of the big things is that it hosts the Erie County Fair every single year out there at the fairgrounds, which is amazing. You gotta think, every single year they putting on a massive carnival and festival on a yearly basis, and literally they're the front runners. Like, nobody else trying to take that away from them. So that's a good thing, probably because it ain't nowhere else that we can hold it. But either way it goes, it's at the fairgrounds. And on top of that, Hamburg has a small casino inside the town. That means you don't have to go downtown. You don't have to go way out to Niagara Falls. You can go right to Hamburg Gaming and get your gamble on if you want to. Plus, we got some other things that we're going to discuss later on, but they got some horse races. They have some community events going on all year round, which is really, really great. And also, the village is expanding, which is really helping that community thrive. These are where all the small businesses can be found, mostly is right inside the village. The village is extremely walkable, and I think personally it's probably one of the best mapped out villages in our kind of surrounding towns that we have, especially when it comes to the south towns. And I'll tell you why. This is really where the heart of Hamburg is, you know what I'm saying, right inside this village here. Though it may not be big, you can easily spend an entire day, or probably the morning and afternoon there easily without even looking at your watch. Comfort Cafe, and you already know my favorite spot, coffee. Easily wake up, go get that morning brew, go get that morning tea, and get up out the house. Lunchtime, you have a different array of different restaurants inside the village, which is nice. You got Orange Crush, you got Buteros, and you got, again, another one of my favorites. Y'all know I'm a big taco guy, Coyote Cafe. Super good. They only open on a few days out the week though. That's the only dilemma, right? And they open up at 11 or 12, one of those two. So make sure you catch it at a good time, right? either way. And then you can either finish the night at a happy hour spot. You got Factory Brewery, which is like everywhere. And they got this new sushi place called Limehouse Sushi Company. Something like that, Limehouse Sushi and something. Either way it goes. That's a new one right on the corner. I don't really eat sushi, but I hear everybody else loves it, so I try to point it out anywhere we go. Either way, Hamburg, like I told you guys before, has a population of about 60,000 people, and it's pretty sizable, but which kind of makes it unique. Well, I can't even say unique, which really makes it sizable is because things are so spread out in Hamburg. I mean, it's very sparse. I call these areas Hamburg, Orchard Park, parts of West Seneca, East Aurora. They're like country suburban. Hamburg is no different, like whatsoever. I really think Hamburg defines the country suburban because outside the village, like now I know I'm walking through here right now, but please don't be fooled by how I'm walking around. Yes, outside the century, maybe a 5-block radius is walkable, but other than that, you're going to need a car in Hamburg. It is not the most walkable town that you will go into. I can tell you that right now. You will need a car. I walked around here for almost 2.5 hours. No exaggeration. I did not see one metro, not one bus pull up. I don't even think I seen a bus stop while I was walking around here. You will need a car when it comes to Hamburg. This walkthrough is a walkthrough, but only inside the village. If you live in the town and you want to commute back and forth, you're gonna need a car. All right, don't be fooled by this. Trust me on this one. There's even parts, especially on a neighborhood or like a back street, there's no sidewalks back there. You know, when you're in a town that doesn't have sidewalks, you know you need a car, period. What I can say is that you have no issues walking these streets though. Even though you may be walking in the street, literally, the streets Hamburg is very, very safe. I'm talking about very minimal criminal activity that's going around in Hamburg. And that's one thing that draws a lot of people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Especially in that country suburban setting, like people want to be able to walk outside freely, no issues. You will have no problem in Hamburg. That's one draw. The second draw is going to be that waterfront, right? You're sitting right along Lake Erie. From the top to the bottom of Hamburg, you're very close to the water. I'm talking about some of the most beautiful sunsets and sunrises over Lake Erie. What is, man, it is beautiful, especially if you can get something along Lakeshore Road or Old Lakeshore, or even part of, like, depending on how far inland you are, like South Park Avenue. Oh my God, I mean, some of those houses that sits on that water over there are absolutely beautiful. We won't get into real estate right now, but we will. And I'll tell you guys some prices that probably is gonna blow your mind because it's not as expensive as you may think to live in Hamburg, I promise you. Now, because you're in Hamburg, like we talked about earlier, you get access to your own private beach. You literally, all you have to do is go down to the town park. Once you become a resident there, you get your card and you're good to go pretty much. Now, if you're a visitor and you're just trying to hop in on a beach, you can easily pay for it, a guest pass for the day, but you have Woodlawn Beach right there. So you really don't need to have access to them unless you just want to be, you know, nosy and see what the beach is all about. But it's a free one right down there. And most people go to Woodlawn anyways, but that's a great perk, especially in the summertime, right? You're not going far to go to the beach. If you're in the city and got to come down, you talk about 20-25 minute drive. Hamburg, I'm right there, baby, all day long. And then the great thing is in the wintertime, right? Because obviously Buffalo gets snow, right? Buffalo, you can't use the beach all year long. It'd be nice. But in the wintertime, skiing and snowmobiles, sledding, all that stuff, you're right near Chestnut Ridge, Kissing Bridge, all those parks that's right a town over in Orchard Park. The dope thing, or even better, they even have snowmobile trails. Like there's a Hamburg snowmobile club, Facebook page, everything. And what's dope, because on their website, they'll have the list of trails. I think it's like 10 of them, maybe 10 to 12 of them, something like that. And they'll tell you the condition of the trail, if the trail is open, and if you can ride it on that specific day or not, which is dope. They got the weather down there so you can see it, and then how the condition is. So is there any water pots, or, you know what I'm saying, any water holes as you snowmobiling through, or is there in really good condition that you guys can just go out and get busy? So that's one of the dope things. Like, you really got the best summer activity on the water, and then shoo, you get the snowmobile out when it get that nice fresh ooh, that nice coat of snow, you're good to go in the wintertime as well. So I think that's really good. And then you're still accessing, again, to all those major sledding, snowmobile, and snowboarding kind of hills at Chestnut Ridge, and like I said, at Kissing Bridge too, not a far drive. You got the best of both worlds. And then hop back down the city, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Hamburg is a good spot, man, I'm telling y'all. And then lastly, talking about activities, you got the fairgrounds right there. Again, already hosted Erie County, already hosted the casino, the games and all that, but they do offer other activities and festivals year round. So you really just got to go to the Hamburg Fairgrounds website, and they'll have the calendar there. So there's always something to do on a weekend, if not weekly basis there, especially when it comes to the horse races or some live events that they may have in or outdoors. Super dope. All right, here's the drawback though. Yes, there's a lot to do activity wise, but I don't know why niche.com has this rated as a B+ nightlife, because there's no nightlife in Hamburg. I don't care. First of all, Buffalo, we're bar people, right? We're bar people. We're not club people up here. Like, you're not going, you know what I'm saying? You may catch a couple, but to go out and hop from club to club, we're not club people. We are bar people. And Hamburg is even lower than that. They don't have no nightlife, right? You're not just going to hang out in Hamburg. I'm telling you that right now. You can go to East Aurora, which is a extra maybe 10-15 minutes away. I would hang out there. But Hamburg, no nightlife whatsoever. You're going to the city and you're driving back. Hopefully you catch an Uber if you're going to be drinking. And then the opposite side of that is the school district is great. Like, you know what I'm saying? Niche.com has it rated as an A-. If you're in Hamburg, you're either gonna go to Frontier or Hamburg High School. Depending on where you are, depending on your district, it's depending on which one you're gonna go to. Either way, I think both schools districts are really, really good. So I don't think you'll have any problem there, right? So, good. Now, the other side to that is the Bill Stadium. For all y'all who want to move up here, yes, there's people who move up to Buffalo just they can live out the rest of their years and watch the Bills play. There are people who do that, or some of y'all snowbirds who just want to stay up here during the football season. Yes, you can live very close by the stadium. Let's get it. The bad part to that is during football season, the traffic is insane between Hamburg and Orchard Park, especially for those who just want to go to Wegmans and come back home. You have to deal with that traffic. It can get ridiculous starting on Thursday and ending probably on Monday, depending on how late that game is on Sunday. But Saturday and Sunday, just know you're running into traffic all day long. People with their campers, people pulling out those campers, people just back trailing because they want to just be in all of the Bill Stadium, driving down Southwestern. Yes, the traffic is going to be crazy if you guys live in Hamburg or anywhere close to the Bill Stadium. And now that they're building a bigger stadium, it's probably going to get even worse because they can host a little more people. So that's something that you guys want to think about. And lastly, while we harping on it, let's talk about another negative, which is the taxes in Hamburg are insane. Okay, maybe not insane is a good word, but they're high. They're high, like they're up there. I can tell you that right now. So that's something that you have to prepare for. We live in New York State, nothing you can do about it. You know what I'm saying? You're probably looking anywhere minimum $5,500. Probably average is somewhere around $6 to $7 grand, depending on, again, the size of your house. Now, if you're talking about the village, when it comes to housing prices, I told you they're very affordable. So when it comes to the village, you're probably looking at somewhere around 286, 287-ish, right? If you want to be very, very exact, the real number is $286,055 if you're looking to move inside the village on average. Again, you can find something lower, you can find something a bit higher. You're going to have more of a true farmhouse style, right? Old. 1892, right? 1900s, 1915s. Like, it's going to be an older home. If you guys are talking about the village, you're going to have a little bit damp basement, a dehumidifier, a sub pump will solve that problem. Put some glass block windows down there, you're good to go. Just going to be storage for you guys. If you guys are talking about something new, you want something in the 90s, 80s, probably even a new build, because they do have a lot of new builds in Hamburg as well. On average, if you talk about something existing, you're going to be looking at around 300,000. Probably a little like 305, 310-ish though. You can find something in that price range on average for the actual town. So again, the town is going to be a lot more spread out. You may have a little more room in between for your neighbors. The village is going to be a little bit older, a little bit closer housing, but you're still going to get a nice driveway. You're still going to get, you know, that 2-car garage or 1-car garage that you're really looking for. So it really depends on if you want to have a little more walkability, which is inside the village, or shoot, you don't mind driving in and around. You're going to be more looking at the town. Both have their pros and cons. I'm probably more of a town guy myself just because I like a little more space between my neighbors and I don't mind driving. So those are some things that you guys got to think about when it comes to Hamburg. There's some pros, some cons, everywhere in between. You guys can make your mind up. But as always, if you guys are thinking about moving up to Hamburg, make sure you guys hit me up with a call, an email, or text. We'll jump on a Zoom call. We'll reverse engineer your plans, and we will get you guys moved up here as soon as you're ready. All right. And if you guys are in Buffalo, you already know, hit me up. We'll get right to it ASAP. And as always, I will see you guys inside the next one.